Cross Blue Shield is here. Is anyone else here?
Nope, that's
okay. So the Blue Cross Blue Shield would be your choice. You probably have about 14 plans to choose from out of how many categories? 4. Bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Now there's one other exception, and I don't see many people that will fit into that, but you may have children. Let's say you have a young person in your family, they're either a student at college or they're a young person and they don't have a job and they don't have any income, okay? There's a plan designed for them if they're less than 30. It's called a catastrophic plan. So that's the plan they would be eligible for. Other than that, everyone else, remember those 4 plans? There is something, and they talked about it on the video, and that is how do you become eligible? There's something that's called the federal poverty level. You've got to be at 100 to 400% of the federal poverty level. I've done this a long time. When they said federal poverty level, I was like, wait, hold it, what is that? What is 100% to 400%? So guess what? They created a little chart. So even a guy like me will know what 100% is. And it all depends upon your household size. So if you want coverage for yourself and not for anybody else in your household, it still depends upon your household size. So let's say you're an individual and you have one person in your household. In order to be eligible for the subsidy, and the subsidy is what helps you pay for your insurance, okay? It's a tax break that helps to pay for your insurance. To be eligible for the subsidy, you must make at least $11,490 as a single person to be eligible. So, but it goes up to 400%. So you take that 11,490, then you go, the next step is 133% of the federal poverty level for one person, which is 15,280. Then you go to 17,235, all the way up to 45,960. You'd be able to get some help to help you pay for your insurance. So that's one person. Let's say you've got 4 people in your family, in your household. The household size is 4. You've got to make at least $23,500 to be eligible for the subsidy. Now, you would still be able to get the insurance. One of the great things about the insurance now is, you know, before, if you had diabetes, you had a cancer, you couldn't get insurance. Now everything's guaranteed issue. They don't even ask medical questions. So regardless, someone has AIDS, you get insurance. You know, you're pregnant right now, you get insurance. So there's no underwriting on these now. For that, insurance companies have put a little margin in their numbers, etc. And you hear people say it's a little higher. But it has to be, because now everybody who wants insurance can get it during this period of time. Remember, what's the deadline for all of this?
March 31st.
March 31st. Keep that in mind. If you don't get insurance by March 31st, you cannot get it for 2014. There's something called open enrollment periods that we may talk about later on if you like. That will happen in October for next year, for 2015. But we're talking about 2014, you've got to get the insurance, and in order to get the subsidy, and that's the tax break that helps to pay for your insurance, you've got to be within the federal poverty levels of 100 to 400%. Now I see some kind of puzzled looks out there, so remember, any question is a good question. And you, don't be shy, because the next person may have the same question. Yes, Pastor? Yes, yes, please.
Let me just share with y'all why the March 31st. Understand, you can buy insurance at any time. In order to be eligible for the subsidies, you must buy insurance by March 31st. Amen?
Amen.
Now, when I signed us up, now insurance for my wife and my family, aside from the Affordable Care Act, runs $1,800 a month. Okay? We went on the marketplace exchange. I was able to get insurance for my wife and I. My daughter, who's 14, is on Peach Care. Okay? And my son, who's 23, was not able to get on insurance because he's a National Guard. And he has to go to TriStar.
Right.
Okay? But we were able to get insurance for us, plus, I think an additional $50,000 policy, life policy on my wife, plus $100,000 policy, all of that for $186 a month. So whereas, because my subsidy was $989. Now, if I try to do the same insurance in April, after the open enrollment, I'm going to end up paying $500, $600, $700 a month. But by doing it prior to March 31st, I'm afforded the subsidy of $989 a year, which drops my premium down to $186 a month. And somebody need to say amen.
Amen. There are some people that get the insurance that don't have, that have zero premium to pay. I've enrolled people that are paying $25 a month that did not have insurance before, and that's for a husband and wife. So it depends upon where your income fits at under the federal poverty level as to what your subsidy will be. Now, I still want to take any questions that you have, and then after that, we have enough people here today, we'll actually want to sit down with you individually to see where you fall at in here, and to see if we can get you some coverage today.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
You just answered the question.
Right.
Part of it.
Okay.
But, okay, I went on there
Okay.
and applied.
Okay.
Now, at the time that I applied,
Okay.
I was getting unemployment.
Okay.
Right? Gave them my information.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And with under the guidelines that they stated
Right.
for your eligibility, I fell under that.
Okay.
There,
Right?
Medicaid.
Right.
Yeah, I fell under that.
Right.
I also had criminal history, so I can't get Medicaid.
Okay.
Right. Right. So then, now, originally, I wasn't eligible.
Okay.
Right? When I went back again to check into it again, when I explained to them, okay, I can't get Medicaid.
Right.
Now I'm eligible. Right? But now, and my question to them was, how am I eligible when I fall under your price range, you know, the income range? How am I eligible? And then, okay, but you say I'm eligible, but I'm not eligible for the
For the subsidy.
assistance.
Right.
I don't understand that.
Well, what we want to do is sit down with you. One thing is to check your age.
Yeah.
Right.
48.
Okay. We'll have to sit down and look at that. I want to see how exactly how you would be eligible. Do you have, okay, now, when we look at the income level, we're looking at this year, 2014.
Right.
Not last year, because some of you have had increases in your income, or there may be a bonus you're going to get, or you're going to get a salary increase, or you're going to work more hours, or something else. So when we're looking at 2014, we're looking at your projected income, okay?
Can I?
Yes.
I want to give one more example because I want you to understand what the governor not doing Medicaid has done for us, has done to us, because we're going to be launching an effort to assist. We got to get the governor, we got to get the legislature to turn this around. We put it into the Kaiser Foundation's calculator. We were doing a young lady from Americas. She made $15,000 a year. She had one child. When we put it into the system, it said that she was eligible for several policies, but it was $320 a month. Okay? Now, if she's only making $1,250 a month, she can't afford $320 a month. So what we did was, for the sake of that example, we increased her salary by $3,000 for the example, and it came up to $18,000. When she came up to $18,000, she paid zero in insurance. Because that's when the subsidies from the Affordable Care Act kicked in. It originally said when she was at $15,000, go to Medicaid. And because Medicaid has not been expanded in Georgia, the poorest of folk are not going to be eligible.
Right.
So that's why we've had to work on a supplemental plan that I'll tell you all about. But we got to get folk covered. Now, if I may give for us a port of transparency,
Right.
and then I'm gonna have to leave. Amen. And I trust these guys. They're gonna take you through it. The problem that we have in Ware County is the only policy that is afforded in Ware County is not accepted by Mayo Clinic. Now, don't get discouraged. There's a way to get around it. The emergency room at Mayo Clinic is not under Mayo Clinic. Amen? The emergency room is run by another organization that accepts the insurance. Amen? So you can go to, and that's what a lot of the cost is incurred. You go to the emergency room and you may have a $7,000 bill. Well, your insurance will cover that. If you are to be admitted into the hospital, there's one or two options. You can possibly get sent to Alma, Valdossa's not taking it, hello, or Douglas, or Jacksonville.
Jesus.
Amen? All right. Or, and I'm meeting with the CEO out there pretty soon, because they may accept the insurance. The problem they're having is they don't want to accept the rates that are lined out in the Affordable Care Act. In other words, they want to continue ripping you off. Amen? Now, I'm going to tell you from totally aside from them, this is Malone, this is the radical side. About 700 of us are going to need to go and sit in Mayo Clinic one day and decide not to move.
Amen.
Until they talk to us.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. That's just my way of nonviolent social change. There's no reason for us having a hospital that big in this community that's serving this region that is not accepting the policy. Hello? But I do want you to know, I want you to encourage you to get the policy, because the immediate thing is emergency room. You get into the emergency room, this policy covers that. Then they can ship you somewhere else if you have to have better care. And it might be a godsend that you got to go somewhere else. Amen. That church, amen. It beats not having no insurance at all. Get the insurance. I got the insurance. Amen. Because when I go to the emergency room, it's going to be covered. Then I'll say, send me to Jacksonville, Jessup, Alma, Douglas. Amen.
Yes.
Reverend Malone, did you look at the doctor networks?
Now, there are sufficient doctor networks in the area. I got that sheet. I'll make some copies.
Okay.
There are doctors. Now, there's some doctors who won't take it. Now, when you go to the doctor, you do not have to. That doctor will not know whether you're on the Affordable Care Act or not.
That's right.
The only thing they're going to have is an insurance card, a Blue Cross Blue Shield card. It ain't none of their business.
That's right.
As to whether or not you on the Affordable Care Act or you're paying directly out of your pocket. Because you're with the same credible company that the other parts are with.
That's right.
Just as long as they're in network. Amen?
Right.
And they're going to, once that policy is issued, they're going to tell you which doctors are in network.
Right.
And if your doctor is not in network, that means he's fighting it for one or two reasons. Either he has a problem with greed and he don't want to give you the low prices, or he's prejudiced as the devil and don't want to deal with President Obama.
Say it. Say it.
Amen.
Let church say amen.
Amen.
All right? So the only way we're going to break it, now I found out something a long time ago when I grew up in my daddy's house, and I found out for myself, these folk listen to only one thing, and that's money.
That's right.
Hello?
That's right.
And if 700 of us sit in Mayo Clinic and said, we want to see the CEO, and we get about 17 newspapers and TV stations here. Hello, somebody. I wish I had a prayer church. That's how I have it. Amen?
Amen.
But you got to warn them. There's no reason for an institution that large that's serving this community is not accepting this policy. Amen?
Amen.
So we gotta, that's why they're here. They're here to get you. Please get signed up. Because if we're signed up with the policy, then we have the strength to go in and make the hospital accept it.
That's right.
Yes. Amen.
If you ain't signed up, you just hanging on the outskirts. But if you signed up, so all of us got Blue Cross Blue Shield, and we want to be accepted, we're forced in to be done. Amen.
Okay, thank you very much. Other questions? Catch us while we're here. We've got the beginnings of applications. It's a two-step process. The first step is to start an account for you. How many people here have emails? A show of hands. Okay. So for people who don't have emails, we'll set you up an account. That's what we do. We put you on the internet now.
Yeah.
So if you don't have an email, we'll set you up an email account. That's the first step. You've got to have an email account to be able to get, to start the process. And then after that, they'll send you a nice little welcome, you hit the link, and then you can start the application process. So I know each one's questions individualized, so what we'll do...
Social hall is available for you to go and sit down and meet with folk individually.
Okay, Ron?
One question I'd like to ask, who have coverage on your job? You have coverage on your job. So we have to talk about it, because if you have coverage on your job, and if your cost is not, the cost of your health care on your job is not over 9.5% of your income, you have to remain with that coverage.
Right.
But if it's over 9.5% of your income, we can switch you into the Obamacare.
Right.
Any questions on that?
Question.
Yes, sir.
I have two questions. One, if you're a military veteran, I got here a little late. If you're a military veteran, you got VA, where did that fit into the picture, number one?
That's credible coverage.
Right.
That's credible
Okay.
coverage.
All right, number two, and here again, I got here a little late.
Okay,
But I would like for you to answer this for me, for the sake of helping other people to understand. How much trouble or how strong is the roadblock in blocking the Obamacare?
Okay, it's the law. No matter what they do, remember, this law was passed in 2010. You've had every roadblock you can think of. They passed up 52 bills to try to defund this. It's the law. During this midterm election, what they're going to do is they're really talking about how bad the law is. I don't know if you heard, but 5 million people have signed up. Yeah. And I'm telling you, we were today, his phone's ringing off the hook, my phone's ringing off the hook. Next week, I'm going to be at Green Forest where Reverend Holder is the minister. And we're going to have maybe a couple hundred people because it's the end of the road. And you know we're going to wait till the end of the road to try to sign up. Because y'all here right now. Okay? So
1 million of those 5 million are from the southern region.
Right.
Eight southern states. We got something from HHS. 1 million of the 5 million who signed up are from the 8 southern states.
See, but we need this law. This is a good law. See, it's not just about getting insurance right now. Long term, they're going to have wellness programs. A wellness program is like if you got diabetes, they're going to be calling you. You're going to have nurse practitioners calling you, making sure you're getting your physicals, making sure you're getting your AC1s checked. If you smoke, you're going to have some remediation programs calling you to try to get you to maybe smoking cessation. If you got high blood pressure, making sure you're getting your checks and all of that. All of this is built into this law over a long-term period.
Yes, sir.
It is a good law.
Awesome.
You know, like I said, I've done this for 30-something years. I worked in the healthcare side. I've been in large companies. I've been in small companies. I've been a regional vice president. I just became, 2011, I was president of the Georgia Association of Health Underwriters, which represents 800 agents, some of them from down this area. And we go, I've lobbied Congress for 7 times to talk about health care and things that we wanted to do. One thing we wanted to keep is the agents involved. Because I can sit down and go through a plan and make recommendations, because we're licensed agents. There's something called, there's a person called a navigator. Navigators cannot do that. The state of Georgia won't allow them to do that. All they can do is kind of go through the process with you. So those are the kind of things. But any other questions before we get started on the enrollment process? Yes, sir.
I do have one question.
Yes.
I hear you speaking on the income thing.
Yes.
Okay, well, see, the way I work, I don't pay no taxes. I'm like G.B.R.
Okay, okay, okay.
Do you file a tax return? Well, if you will have to start 2014 until you receive this insurance.
Right, right.
I
That's,
was doing it, but then I was wound up paying them more money than I was making. 'Cause I do yard work and it varies from time to time. So the money that sometimes I have to pay them more money than I even make.
Well, in a case like this, sir, we say to people, you have to look at the trade-off. We tend to run from paying the government $2,000, and we end up in the hospital with a $50,000 bill that we're required for. So which one you don't want to do? You don't want to pay the $2,000, or you don't want to be stuck by $50,000.
That's what I'm hearing.
yeah.
This-
Now, I understand, I understand.
This is another lesson, about this insurance, and I still said earlier, hitting on the preventive things that come along with these policies. You're able to go to the doctor now and get your prostate screening, the breast cancer screening. All those things come free. With this plan, it's free. Colonoscopy, your colon cancer. What the insurance is trying to do, they're trying to make us more of a healthy people. So that we won't have to go to the doctor, so they won't have to pay the premium. So they're putting these measures in place and hoping, and we're encouraging our people to take that advantage. And the reason they're fighting this law because it's helping us. And we are people, as people have to realize that and realize what we need to do ourselves to go to the polls and vote and encourage our neighbors to go to the place and vote and get this governor out of there who will block the people who make less than $11,000 a year.
A new governor can sign the
Yes.
Medicaid expansion
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
and give, I think it's 1.6 million Georgians automatic insurance.
Right, exactly.
So we have to have a mindset. We can't say, well, I have my insurance, so I'm not going to worry about the next one. Well, it's our job to take care of the people who are less fortunate. That's what God looks on us, to take care of our brothers and sisters. So we got to do that by doing what we need to go out and vote, go in our neighborhood, encourage our people to vote, ride to the voting polls.
Oh, and vote Democratic, please.
Democrat.
Matter of fact, the gentleman who's running for Congress for the Democratic side is going to be here in Waycross at 12 o'clock on, his name is Brian Reese. You need to get folk out to vote for him. He's going to be here in Waycross on Saturday at 12. Amen? Look at that and say vote Democratic.
Vote Democrat.
Brian? Yeah, we'll put him here.
Okay.
We've been trying to find somewhere to go, but I know what, I got the key here.
Also, another thing, to be eligible, you must be age 64 and younger.
Yeah, yes.
If you're older than 64, we have Medicare for you.
Right.
You're not eligible for health care.
Okay, do you have any other questions? Okay, I know some people came in late. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask us individually, don't hesitate to do that. Or do we have any other questions? I see a few people may have some questions. Okay. All right, first you and then the lady.
You said that I got to go through that procedure before I can sign up.
What procedure? Filing your taxes?
Yeah.
No.
No. This is for this year. You can say, okay, I think I'm gonna make
Yeah.
12 grand this year. But next year, when you decide to fill out your taxes, you got to be there or there's a tax penalty that you'll have. Yes, sir.
Okay, one last thing for you. You know there's something called earned income tax credit? How when people file their tax, if you go down and look at Ron's Ride, they just move what path it is. Guys, automotive and all of those, around mid-January, their car lots got tacked out. Okay? Because there's something called the earned income tax credit. And if you're below a poverty line, there's a certain amount of money you get automatically. $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. And generally what people do is they go put a down payment on the car. Because every one of those slots now ain't got no cars on them. Because they've sold them. As of, if you do not have insurance, by March 31st, the money that you get from earned income tax credits next year, you are not eligible for. So not only is there a $94 penalty, there's also, you lose your possibilities of earned income tax credit because you did not comply with the government.
Could I get you to state that one more time?
There's something called earned income tax credits. And that makes people who are on the poverty level available to get excess money or additional monies at tax time. In other words, even if they've put money into the system, they get generally all of it back because they're under earned income tax credit. That's when these car lots and these furniture stores and everybody, that's a major part of the economy because they're waiting on folk to get this money. If that person does not have insurance by March 31st of this year, they're not eligible when they file taxes next year for the earned income tax credit. So that $4,000 or $5,000 that they generally get, they will not get, plus they get a $94 fine tacked onto it. Amen?
Amen.
So you got to know this. Information is powerful.
Yes, it is.
So do whatever you can. These gentlemen have come down. Please do not leave unless you sit down and go over with them. They can get connected with you. They can get you the insurance you need. Amen? Even if it is even if you don't get a silver or platinum plan, you may have to get a lesser plan. You have to get a catastrophic plan. But you must, listen, you must have insurance by March 31st.